What a day in Fortnite competitive we just had. Peterbot has now won his 10th Cash Cup in a row, but that isn't even the biggest news of the day. We got the news that MrSavage is officially quitting Fortnite competitive. And no, this is not bait or anything. This is 100% real. We have a lot to talk about in today's video. Real quick before the video starts though, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are on the road to 105,000 subscribers. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. I streamed the entire finals on my Twitch, linked in the description down below, so make sure you guys go check it out if you guys haven't already. Subscribe to my react channel down there as well, because I'm going to be reacting to so many things almost every single day on there. Without further ado though, let's start off with NA and talk about the dominant performance that Peterbot had. Alright chat, so yes, I know some of you guys might be tired of it by now, but this was another Cash Cup won by the trio of Peterbot, Pollo, and Cold. They finished with 491 points today. They were able to win 3 out of their 6 matches as well, and finished with the most elims, getting 62 total elims. I really just don't know how you beat a trio that is getting 22 more elims than second place and has the best average placement as well. If you look at their match history, it was a 7 elimination 8th, 12 elimination win, 13 elimination win, 6 elimination 6th, 9 elimination 4th, and a 15 elimination win. Also, if you guys are wondering, no, Peterbot did not end up landing on Clix this tournament. They were both just completely uncontested. Peterbot ended up staying at Crime City and Clix stayed at Lone Wolf Lodge as well. Let's go on to Clix's trio though, because I mean, I already talked about Peterbot so much. I don't even know what else to say about a trio. We know how crazy they are. A team in second place though that had a lot of question marks going into it was Clix's trio though, and there was some very positive signs with this trio. Starting off with, if you're wondering, did they get the minigun? They were only able to get the minigun 2 out of these 6 games today, and it was in both of their very final games where they got an 8 elimination 2nd and a 4 elimination 8th. The thing that extra impressed me about Clix's trio though was that they finished with the second most elims in the entire tournament, getting 39 elims. And if you know anything about Clix's trio, the whole narrative around them all the time is, are they going to be able to keep up with kills against Peterbot's trio? And so far in the 2 Cash Cups that we have seen, I mean, you kind of have to say no, just because Peterbot is still 23 kills ahead of them. But at the same time, Clix's trio is still finishing with the second most elims in the entire tournament. If there is another season where Clix can break his best ever FNCS placement, it is 100% going to be in this season. I've been saying this time and time again now. I really did believe that Clix is the second best trio on NA, and they are continuing to prove me right each and every single week. So huge shout out to these guys. Third place is Vadil, Cooper, and Sphinx. Now these guys had one of the craziest comebacks I think I've seen. If you look at their match history, it was a 0 elimination 17th, 1 elimination 12th, 5 elimination 7th, and then they just absolutely locked in the very final 3 games, getting a 4 elimination 4th, 12 elimination win, and an 11 elimination 2nd. I won't even lie to you guys, after the first 3 games, I was really worried about this trio. I was like, I know they were starting off slow to the season, but this is really concerning. And so them still finishing top 3 is just a huge sign and definitely a major confidence boost for them going forwards. Fourth place is honestly a super underrated trio that I don't know how many of you guys still remember from last season, but it was Shadow, Curve, and Tyler. Now they honestly only had like 3 good games total in this tournament, but they were still able to finish top 4, and they finished with the 3rd most elims as well, which is a super positive sign for this team going forwards. I think this trio is just going to continue to get better and better each season. These guys are all still super young players. I'm pretty sure they're all like 15 to 16, so they're just going to get a little bit more experience under their belt, and they are 100% going to be a name to look out for the future of NA. Fifth place was a little bit of a disappointing trio to me of Agers, Acorn, and Ritual. I thought they were 100% going to be competing for a top 2, maybe even a win in this Cash Cup, and they only finished with 247 points while being uncontested every single game. If you look at their match history, their best games were a 9 elimination 3rd, 7 elimination 5th, and an 8 elimination 7th. I just really thought they could have done so much better than this, if you guys know what I'm saying. Like, I saw people comparing them to Clix's trio like all season long, and they were saying as soon as they're uncontested, just wait, they're going to be competing for an FNCS win, not even just against Clix's trio. They are literally going to be competing for the best of the best. But I mean, hey, this was their first tournament of the season completely uncontested. I don't want to like write these guys off or anything, but a 5th place was definitely majorly under my expectations. 6th place was Baka, Pars, and Pump on 245. 7th was actually a little bit of a surprising one and could cause some drama of Virgo, TK, and Craze. They finished with 229 points today, and if you're wondering what I'm talking about for drama, there is a potential possibility that Craze could want to drop Bucky and Okis now. I'm not saying it's like 100% guaranteed or anything, and I think Craze is a pretty loyal dude to Bucky and Okis especially, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bucky and Okis are just not going to be taking the game as serious anymore if he wants to see what else is really out there for him. 8th place was a full EU trio of Fido, Cringe, and Zynox. They were literally top 3 for like the first 4 games of this tournament, so huge shout out to the EU GOATs. 9th place was Visuals, Braids, and Diminished, and then rounding out the top 10 was Rapid, Yapko, and Threats on 209. We do still have a lot of big names names outside of the top 10 though, starting off with an 11th place of Kanade, G Money, and Osid. This is a brand new trio, but I wouldn't really worry too much about them right now because they were contested every single game today by Vert's trio. And if you were watching the tournament, Kanade was kind of just running them down off spawn. I think they only lost once. They might have not lost at all, to be honest. But once again, I wouldn't be too worried about this trio at all. 12th place was Muzz, Curly, and Rise. This was a team that 100% disappointed me today. I thought they were going to be a lock for a top 5 trio. And so them finishing in 12th place while being uncontested was just not something I really expected. They only got 21 total elims in all 6 out of their games. So I mean, I'm not 100% sure what was going wrong with them today. It was just not their day, I guess. The EU trio of Cammy, Seti, and Hari finished in 15th. And then a trio that really struggled that I am not gonna put any like faith in them sticking together is 23rd place of Bolt, Skittles, and Aviv. I just really want Bolt to be on a good trio, man. Like, I still think he has the potential to be a top 5 player on the region if he is fully locked in and grinding. But like a 23rd place is just such a fall from grace from what we were seeing from Bolts literally just like 2 seasons ago at this point. There was a lot of trios that really struggled though, so I wouldn't be surprised if a team wants to make a change and get Bolts onto their trio. All right, let's move on to the actual kin stats for NA now. Starting off with in 10th place, getting 5,610 damage was Threats. 9th was the IGL of Rise. 8th was Diminished. 7th was Vidil. 6th was Shadow. Going into the top 5 is Zoe in 5th, Sphinx in 4th, Agers in 3rd, and then the top 2, the 2 players that always seem to be at the top of the damage leaderboards. 2nd place of Cold, and then in 1st place with 9,460 damage was of course Peterbot. If you're wondering what the overall stat leaders for today was, we had Cold and Peterbot actually tie in elims, both of them getting 26, and then Cold beat out Peterbot with the damage ratio of a 2.58 damage ratio. So I mean, Cold is 100% showing why he is probably still the 2nd best player in all of NA. There wasn't really that much drama on NA today, so let's actually move on to one of the biggest announcements in Fortnite history and just how the EU tournament went overall. Now in EU, we got to see an absolute masterclass from the trio of Swizzy, Queasy, and MrSavage. These guys have now won back-to-back trio cash cup finals, this time winning by almost 200 points. They finished the tournament with 506 points, were able to win half of the games today, getting 3 out of 6 wins, and finished with by far the most elims of 53 total elims, and having an average placement of 1.8. Just an absolute, first of all, eye-jailing masterclass from Queasy. He looks absolutely insane as ever. And then Swizzy and MrSavage are literally just the perfect fraggers to complement him. There is a lot of people right now trying to argue that this is not only the best trio on EU, but also the best trio in the entire world. And that is honestly something that I am very curious to hear your guys' opinion on in the comment section down below. If you look at their match history, it is just so consistent. It's a 7 elimination win, 8 elimination 4th, 14 elimination win, 7 elimination 2nd, 4 elimination 2nd, and a 13 elimination win. What a performance from this trio. This trio, I think we definitely have to call them the best trio on EU as of right now. Definitely this season, they 100% are. 2nd place was the trio of Ping, Wax, and Malibuca. They finished with 312 points. Obviously, the other LAN qualified team still looking super good this season. 3rd place might come as a surprise to some of you guys, but when they are able to get uncontested, they're able to place top 5, sometimes even top 3 of Seti, Hari, and Cammy. They finished with 287 points. They were able to win 1 out of their 6 games as well. The thing with Cammy's trio is if you look at the total number of elims that these guys got, they are just not a fraggy trio at all. They only finished with 18 total elims in 6 games. They were only averaging 3 elims a game, but we already know that is just Cammy and Seti's playstyle. They're never going to be able to get a bunch of elims, but they're always going to be super consistent. I might be a little bit worried about them come grand finals time. I don't think this is going to be a trio that is going to be anywhere close to being able to win FNCS, but they 100% can still qualify for LAN, 100% can still probably top 3, but they are just nowhere near going to be able to get as many elims as like Swizzy's trio or Vico's trio. 4th place is Vanya, Pixie, and Marius. Now this team was really dominating for the first 4 games of the tournament. They were even in 1st place after like game 3, I'm pretty sure, and then they started to very much slow down in the very final 2 games. They even had to fight Vico's trio in a 3v3 in the very final game. I think you could definitely still make an argument that this is the 3rd best trio on EU. They just weren't really necessarily able to close off the tournament all that well. 5th place though, finally saying their name. This might be a surprise to some of you guys, but it is the trio of Vico, Vino, and Flixie. Now these guys ended up getting surprise conned at Crime City today. This trio even had to swerve away from their drop spot a couple of the games because they were just getting out dropped. It was honestly kind of a rough tournament from them, and them still finishing in the top 5 is super impressive. If you look at their match history, they only had 3 games today inside the top 15, but whenever they're able to make it into endgame, they are just absolutely fragging out as always having like 10 plus eliminations, it seems like. I still want to call this team the second best trio on EU. You can still definitely make an argument for them being the best team on EU if you want. 6th place is a brand new trio of Chino, Sangild, and Ferdoxy. 7th is Pink, Nebs, and Kiro, another brand new trio. 8th is a little bit of an underrated team of Rick, Boar, Zara, and Zangi. 9th place is another brand new trio of Frisk, Tayson, and Chicho. I think some people maybe did expect a little bit more out of this team, but I mean, hey, a top 10 is not super terrible in their first tournament together. And then rounding out the top 10 was Pixovsky. Some other big names we had is like 14th place of Chap, Shark, and Kidwell. They finished with 138 points. They were still contested off spawn. Chap tweeted out that they ended up going 3-1 versus iDrop, Sky, and Scroll. It is kind of unfortunate that these two trios are contesting each other, as I feel like both of these teams have so much potential to be so good. If you look at Chap's match history, they only had one game inside the top 10, but they were able to get an 11 elimination second, and then other than that, they were kind of just dying off spawn or getting third partied after getting cleaned up from fighting off spawn. 15th place is another trio that did kind of struggle today of Panzer, Thomas, and Pablo. This is now back-to-back weeks of not being able to get top 10 for Panzer's brand new trio. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if we saw even more team switches over these next couple of days, because another trio that was also struggling with some off spawn things was Pigstorm and Demus in 20th. We also had like another brand new trio of Trulex, Teeny, and Skavi in 24th, iDrop, Sky, and Scroll in 29th. So back-to-back weeks of almost being in the 30th for placements for iDrop, Sky, and Scroll just really has not been a great start to their season. So there was a lot of big names that did really well today, but there was also so many big name trios on EU that super struggled. Let's check out the final kin stats now for EU though. Starting off with in 10th place, getting 5,145 damage was Fido. 9th was Della. 8th was Kiro. 7th was Vania. 6th was Seti. Going into the top 5 is Vino in 5th, Marius in 4th, Ping in 3rd, and then the winners of EU of Swizzy and Merstash at the 2 and 1 spots. Literally almost 4,000 damage separates them between 2nd and 3rd place. I don't know if this is more impressive for Queasy putting them in these spots or just how far ahead they are of every other player on EU. All right, chat, I'm gonna get a little bit real for a second here. This is a thing that I have honestly been dreading for so long, and this came out of absolutely nowhere, but we saw MrSavage tweet out quitting Fortnite competitive. Like I said on the intro, no, this was not troll. This was not impression farm, nothing like that. He is 100% fully quitting. And I just want to start off by saying thank you so much, MrSavage, man. I have legit been watching him since I was 13 years old. I used to watch him every single morning before I went to school. I would watch him play things like solo squads. I always wanted to be just like MrSavage. Like, he was legit my favorite EU pro for so long. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this came out of absolutely nowhere. I thought MrSavage was gonna go live today, announce his brand new trio, something like that, and then just out of nowhere, he tweeted out an absolute bombshell when he said quitting Fortnite competitive. He went live to talk about it, and he was basically just saying he didn't enjoy the game as much anymore. He would have fun before the tournaments, but once the tournaments were actually starting, he just wasn't having anywhere near as much fun anymore, which I mean, you honestly can't blame him, you know? Like, he's not quitting because he's like bad or anything. He literally just got 8th place at Grands, and he 100% could have made globals as well this year. He gave a bunch of shout outs to people like Mongrel for really like saving his passion for the game when they started duoing together, and I think that was kind of just the final straw when MrSavage and Mongrel ended up splitting up. At first, I was really like shocked by this because like the original reason for MrSavage and Mongrel splitting up is because Mongrel just wasn't taking the game as serious anymore, and MrSavage said that he really did want to play globals and he was locking in for that. And so for that literally only being like 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, and so for him going from being fully motivated, locked in, wanting to qualify for globals to now quite literally fully quitting the game, it was just an absolutely huge curveball that I did not expect. I mean, I tweeted out that MrSavage and Mongrel quite literally were EU competitive for so many people, including myself. I don't want to say necessarily that EU is going to be like so boring to watch now or anything, but it is just really not going to hit the same without MrSavage. I also wouldn't be surprised if this is Mongrel's last season as well before he calls it quits. I just don't think any of us really expected MrSavage to be the one to quit before Mongrel did. I mean, honestly, right now, I'm still just kind of in shock. Like, sorry for like not being super energetic for this portion of the video. I just really was such a big MrSavage fan for so long. And we literally saw like MrSavage like crying on stream and everything. I do wish him the best for his future endeavors. He kind of said that he still wants to be like involved in the community and everything, maybe do some watch parties here and there. But he also just wants to take more time off and just vacation, which he's literally a 20-year-old millionaire, not just a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, has really nothing left to prove in the game. I mean, I guess we're never going to see the MrSavage FNCS guess win, unfortunately. But I mean, I just still can't believe it. Literally in my video yesterday, I was trying to think of brand new trios for MrSavage to play with. I was like, oh, if Chap and Shark do bad this finals, then maybe they'll want to snake for MrSavage. But I mean, we went from all of that to him literally being done with the game now. Just crazy times, man, for real. MrSavage though, bro. Always love watching him. Always gonna support him for whatever he wants to do next. Other than that though, chat, sorry if that was a little bit of a yap session. My voice is fully cooked right now. I am still not used to streaming, but remember, we are going to be streaming every single Cash Cup finals. So remember, follow the Twitch link in the description down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are on the road to 105,000 subscribers. Please just go K-Dog in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. YouTube says enjoy one of these two videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Follow me on my Twitter at K-Dog to keep up to date with everything to do with Fortnite competitive. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.